Oh boy, I can't wait to get some solid Ana footage. Wait, we don't have a main tank? I'm just gonna go Winston. What could possibly go wrong? Have you ever been filled to main tank and don't know how to play Reinhardt? Are you a DPS only ult account that never switches? Are you already Winston but don't know how to focus targets? Please don't kill me. Hello fellas, I'm Grandmaster Prey and today we're going to be diving into how you can stomp solo queue with Winston. Before this video starts, remember that you can get hundreds of hours of guides just like this one from professional players for every hero. Up your game and make your New Year's resolution to climb out of ELO hell with our 50% off discount this month by clicking the link below. Without further ado, let's get started. There's 3 steps in knowing how to dive with Winston. 1. Get in a position to see who you can dive on. This is probably going to be your high ground or generally anywhere where you can get a good view of the enemy team. 2. Start prioritizing in your head who you're going to dive on. Prioritize your targets by asking these 3 questions in your head. How squishy or low are they? Winston's left click only does 60 damage a second. Coupled with healing, it's going to be extremely hard to kill a tank. A 200 HP hero is going to be a lot easier to deal with than a 400 HP tank. How important are they to the enemy team? If you see a healer or a DPS, you know they have around the same health. But healers are more important to the enemy, so if you jump on a healer, you'll be preventing healing done to their team. Try to use your E when you're on their backline healer, effectively bubbling them from assistance and allowing you to get that easy frag. How far are they from their team? When seeing who to prioritize, make sure to ask yourself, can this person I dive get help before I can kill them? If so, then you're going to not go on that target in most cases. 3. Plan your escape route. In a lot of cases where you are high ground, you're not going to need to use your jump to engage. If you have this option, use your jump to get out. If you've used your jump to dive, plan how you're going to survive until your jump is back up. Luckily, your jump has a decently low cooldown. Let's see how mastering these 3 factors can allow you to stomp your games. Going into this game, the first thing we want to do is stay on this high ground right here. This is because on Numbani point A, you do not want to give up this corner right here, as this corner will allow the enemy to see everything on point. Right here, we're able to scout out the team. Because we scouted out the team, we were able to give the call to our backline to be careful of Hanzo and Widow. We decide here not to peek it as much, but we still need to get them off high ground. Now there's a couple ways we can go about this. First, we could just run at them with brute strength, hoping not to die, but that could prove extremely dangerous as we can get picked off by double sniper. So let's see what I do. We dropped down from cover where they couldn't see us, and jetpacked right into his face and bubbled his area, meaning he was either forced to die or get off high ground. Either way, it's going to be a win-win for us. With our main healer dead, we need to start changing our course of action. We need to start playing defensively and get people off high ground. Without our main healer in the fray, I'm forced to back off and give up this high ground until Mercy comes back. At this point, I decide getting Widowmaker off high ground will be the best course of action, so none of our team gets picked. Even though I died, we managed to get Widowmaker off point, and I ended up getting rezzed anyways. At this point, we want to start asking ourselves the question, how important are they to the enemy team, and how far are they from their team? We have 2 choices here. We have the Widowmaker on the left and the Ana on the right. Given that a healer is more important than a DPS, that checks off 2 to go for Ana. Additionally, we see Ana is further away from her team than Widow, and also Widow has a grappling hook, so if we jumped on her right now, she'd be able to escape with ease. That checks off the 3rd question to go for Ana, so we go ahead and grab an easy pick on her. Fortunately, Widow grappled on the left side. With no grapple, she's a prime target. At this point, Winston's the only prime target, so we go ahead and chase him back. Luckily, I had D.Va to go ahead and defense matrix me out of there. Because we used the 3 steps in determining who to dive, we were able to prioritize the right targets at the right time. Here, because we see D.Va and Hanzo on that high ground, we can safely assume there's some more delicious squishies in the backline. Let's see what happens when we take the jump. Now we've confirmed the presence of Ana and Hanzo in the backline. With this disruption on the main healer and Hanzo, we made their dive a failure because they had no healing when they dove in. Taking a quick glance, we can see that their dive tanks have committed without Ana. That means we're going to disrupt Ana just a little bit more. I get slept here, but the damage is already done. All that time we didn't allow Ana to heal, allowed our teammates to go ahead and snowball that fight in our favor. Remember guys, as Winston we really want to get in between the front line and the back line so they have no communication with each other. Here we see Winston trying to take high ground. We're going to go ahead and deny him that and push him off. Alright guys, so what we want to find out here is who to prioritize first. We know right here Zenyatta's about to finish with his Transcendence, but he's in the middle of the team. Because of this, we wait for our bubble before engaging. We effectively use our bubble to block off both healers from healing the targets. We go over and switch to Winston as a result. But unfortunately, Winston is nanoed. Now there's a couple things we can do here. We can go ahead and dive the healers again, or we can play defensively. Given that my health is very low, we're not going to be doing the diving. Now here the only target is Winston, but unfortunately I died to him. But it's okay because we do trade the main tanks. This right here is a really bad example of target prioritization. We're virtually doing nothing here as they're both tanks and they have full HP. Because of this, the Widowmaker that I easily could have jumped on kills both of our supports and we lose point. When you're playing a corner as Winston, what you want to do is keep peeking back and forth just to make the front line move back a little bit. At the same time, try to find any way that you can get in their back line. So right here we're just trying to make space, playing around this bus until we see this. Because of the way Roadhog was positioning off to the side of Reinhardt, we can only assume that what he wanted to do is go for a hook. We predict this and bubble accordingly. Now at this point Sombra calls for an EMP, so the first thing we do is dive in their backline for a very easy kill on Ana. The next step is to find their next target. We see a squishy Zenyatta, very delicious for the taking. With the two healers gone, we effectively win the team fight. I decide to play above their spawn to get some free ult charge. We also have jump so we can get away very easily. Right here I realize I don't have range on them, so I just jump away. Because they haven't used ultimates in a while, we can only assume they're going to go all out right here. Because of this, I get out of Reinhardt's shatter range. Now right here we see a lot of prime targets, but which one do we go for? Here we want to ask ourselves again, how squishy or low are they? We see 3 squishies and there's 1 low McCree on the right side. How important are they to the enemy team? We know Zenyatta and Ana are very important as they are the healers for the team. But when we apply question 3, how far are they from their team? The McCree takes the cake. The McCree is currently getting attacked by our team in the backline and he's super low. Because McCree is squishy and low and he's far away from his team, we decide to single him out first. The principles aren't going to work all the time, but it's a very good basis. Anyways, we have our Primal Rage here and we're able to juggle Ana around and take her out of the fight. Now we finally did our job getting the main healer out. And the next step we want to do is get Reinhardt off of our Zenyatta. At this point the fight is already won, so we go ahead and play aggressive against the soldier and the Roadhog to clean it up, and we go back high ground. Again guys, high ground is one of the most important things on Winston, because with high ground we can see who to prioritize. It's the first step of knowing how to dive with Winston. Now we can see they switched to Pharah. Unfortunately for Winston, Winston is not good against Pharah. Fortunately for us, we have another EMP, so we start focusing the Zenyatta and the Ana. With both of their healers gone, the round is over. Our first priority is to get this high ground corner. Like I said, the reason this high ground is so effective is because if we control it, we basically get control of the whole point. Because we know Ana used her nade, we can go up here without getting insta-killed. We have to go down because we are half health, but throughout this fight, we're able to use very good use of the health pack on our right, allowing us to have way more sustainability than them, who don't have health packs on that high ground. Right here, I decide to contest point to distract the enemy team. Unfortunately, they didn't fall for it and thought of it as an opening, so I go back to help my team. What I did right here is a really good example of what not to do as any dive hero. Don't fully commit to a hero that has their dash up. In this case, this Moira had her dash up, so now I'm in a really bad position. We take cover in the room and we go up to make some more space. I managed to get Ana off of high ground, so I use Primal to further disrupt the team so our team can start getting point. Unluckily for me, their Winston had Nano, so I decided to go back in and try to push some off. I almost fell, but luckily for me, I didn't. At this point, my team comes and tries to save me, so I go back, get healed, and contest point. Now right here, Genji uses Genji Blade, so I get off of Ana because she's basically dead, and then we switch immediately to D.Va. Now right here, there's really nobody that I can effectively deal with, so I go up onto the high ground and try to disrupt their backline even more. We go down on the soldier, disrupt him, make him turn around. We get really low here, so we back up. Being really low, I'm too scared to fight up, so I deal with the Winston, and with low health, I fall. So we're just going to try the same thing over again, just disrupt this, get this high ground, see where the Ana is, and dive that Ana. Luckily for us, we're getting Primal Rage here, so we'll be able to really take care of Ana. Luckily for me, I was awoken, so I Primal Rage and really punished them for waking me up. At this point, this Ana cannot heal her team, so we're doing our job very effectively. We try to bring Ana back into our team, but unfortunately it does not work, and as a result, we do another wipe. But it's not entirely a loss. Because they use both supportals, we can grab the next fight and win very easily. Let's see what happens. We're gonna go ahead and go back up here again, but instead we know that Genji has Genji ult, so what we're gonna do is make the distraction, make all that disruption, and even though we die, what's gonna happen is Genji's gonna get 2 free picks. And we get revived, so anyways, it turns out well. Now at this point, the enemy team is super staggered, so what we do as a result is just really push and be very aggressive on them. And when they reach their team, we get the hell out of there. What we're effectively doing here is letting the cart push very nicely across the corner, because the corners of the maps are generally where they're going to try to hold, because you get that free cover on the defensive side. So by pushing them so far, we don't need to worry about corner contesting. See right here, it's absolutely clear. We're able to get so much space. Right here, we decide to get high ground and try to see who we can dive. So as of right here, there's 3 possible options we can dive. D.Va's a tank, so we don't want to be going for her. Moira might have her dash, we do not want to go for that, and Brigitte is, well, Brigitte, so you can't go for that either. So what we do is we decide to zap from the bottom until we see what's happening on our right side. Now right here, the enemy team uses a lot of ults to get us out. They succeed in wiping us, but the problem is they don't have ult for next fight, and look what we have. With all the ults they wasted and all the ults we have for the next fight, we know that we can push really aggressively. If your ult economy is greater than the enemy's, just go ham on them. Right here, I decided to grab high ground yet again, try to fight for the contestation, but now we have Primal Rage, so we're going to go ahead and disrupt the soldier and switch on over to the Ana, not let her heal, and effectively get her into a corner and just juggle her around. Luckily for us, we were able to single her out and prevent her from using Nano. With her ult and remech, D.Va was able to contest enough for a few of her teammates to get here. Fortunately, we had Sombra that hacked the Moira, we took that to our advantage, and we bubbled the Nano Visor, leading to a GG well played. You don't have to be a mechanical Winston God to stomp with him. As long as you understand your cooldowns and use the 3-step process that we showed in this video, you'll be able to dominate any game as Winston. If you want to watch super in-depth guides made by top 500 professionals, click the link below to start a GameLeap subscription for only $2. With enough dedication and practice, you can get anywhere you want to be. Smash that elo hell wall today. Thank you for watching and make sure to like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out.